Giveaway alert. So if you want to leave a comment down below, also like the video and subscribe, you get a chance to win one of these brand new YGGDrasil playmats, which is a company that just started making playmats for the TCG community, and I am extraordinarily impressed. Look at this quality on the on the inking is crazy, and then if you look at that pattern, so the backing on this is incredible. It's a super, it's not even a thin backing, but the backing's super light, so it's not going to be creasing or anything. And what really stood out to me is they're able to produce these high quality mats for extraordinarily affordable price. This is from their Epitome collection that just dropped on their website. So if you want, I want to give them a shout out. I'm going to leave a link down below. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I was just sent over, so I do want to thank them, but I want to link down below to their Epitome collection that just dropped. You can get these two play mats if you want there. This is the Helios mat. This is personally my favorite. And then there's the Genetian mat, which is this teal, very, very vibrant color. We're going to be giving this away, but guys, the link is down below if you want to get for yourself. And shout out to YGGDrasil. MetaGamesGX here, and we are with the man, the myth, the legend, Raul, aka Paderosso, on Dueling Book. Usually, always just top of the leaderboards on Dueling Book with branded. So let's get right into the engine of the deck. It looks like we have 3 Bestial Lubellion, then we have 3 Bestial Baldrake on top of 3 Bestial Druiswarm, and then 1 Bestial Magnamut and the 3 Bestial Saronir on top of, you can't forget, the Bestial Aluber. So tell me what these cards are facilitating in your deck, kind of like running this really heavy Bestial count, because I'm assuming you're trying to use them more for Synchro fodder in this build. Like how important, and maybe talk about how important Dissipator and Chaos Angel are in this kind of build and how they interact with, and how the Bestials enable it.
So yeah, the Visual engine, if I go first, I'll use them as like link line material and getting them to get like beast regained, lost into rotation, of course, with the Rebellion, and also just ending on Seal Dissipator is like really good this format and like a lot of Bestials. And going second, they interrupt your opponent really well. They hit the Fiendsmith engine, which is like good. They hit Whitewoods, which is good. They're also really strong against you, pal. And they put a lot of pressure on your opponent. Because even going second, they get even better by just making a Chaos Angel or Dissipator going second, and also link climbing into SP going second. Or and then after making a Typhon, for example. So they're really good for board breaking, and they bring too much pressure on your opponent's board.
Awesome. And then it just like, would you ever adjust this ratio, or do you think maxing out on the Bestials are definitely like kind of the play? Because we've seen, like we just saw the Bestial control deck actually win that Houston regional, which ended up maxing out on Bestials and kind of did an Albaz thing. But it seems like you've kind of just gone the distance and really kept that identity of branded, but you're still just, I guess, would you change the ratios at all, or do you think they're kind of perfect as they are? You need to max out on
They're
them.
Yeah, they're perfect as they are. Like Vicios are like, as I said, like really powerful, and also I'm using them as link climbing material, synchroing. Like it's like I would never change this ratio, I think. And even with the ban of Appaloosa right now, Bestial Rebellion is a free of Branded for sure, and it's even a board breaker going second. So this bit deck breaks any board if you wanted to. It's like really good.
Yeah, and then so we'll get into the branded engine also, guys. We're gonna have combos at the end of the video too, so you guys get more of an idea, of course. And then also we're gonna have gameplay coming out. If it's not already out, it will be linked in the description. And then we have 3 Shrouded Dragon on top of for the Albaz engine, 3 Fallen of Albaz, 3 Blazing Cartesia, and then the 3 Quem. So 3 Quem is pretty spicy, but that's probably an effect of it being branded Synchro at the end of the day, right?
Yes, Quam is the best card in this version for sure. Like if it was like in the pure version, it's also strong, but in this version, it's crazy. Actually crazy for chain blocking. For like you never cut this card because even going second with this card with a Bestial, it's like, oh, chef's kiss. Really broken. Really broken.
So, and then we do have the 1 Spriggan's Kit, 1 Mercurier, 1 Tragedy, and then 2 Fault or Aluber. 2 Aluber probably just because you're already running more, more Quem to cut down on the normal summons.
Yes, and also my game plan is like not activating Branded Fusion turn 1, of course, like going with a different approach. But let's say Quem gets interrupted, or I won't get my Bestials on board because my opponent uses their Bestials to counter my Bestials from coming on the board. I still have cards like Opening or Trust to push through it. So I think still free opening is really good. And also a good thing to know about opening. Opening only locks after it resolves. So if you do Synchro summon plays first or Link summon plays first, you're still able to activate opening right after. Because it only
Oh,
locks after
yeah.
it has been resolved.
That's good to know.
Right there.
So, and then you run the, and I guess for the spell, and for the rest of the branded engine, you did have like the Kit Mercury or Tragedy. So it seems like you're still like resolving branded lines a lot of the time. So, like, how often are you synchroing and how often are you fusing, or is it just kind of depending on the hand?
It's a lot hard to say. It's like depending on the hand, but I would like prefer to go for the synchro plays first because my opponent doesn't expect it. That's like also a nice thing about it, and it's like it's way better into Ash Impermanence and other Bestials because like you're just doing synchro plays. If they Bestial you early, it's fine because right after you activate like opening, get your Branded Fusion, activate Branded Fusion, go on from there. So it's like really good.
Awesome. And then you did mention the three branded opening. We're still running that even though it does lock you. You aren't running the fusion deployment, which I think you might have been on in an early build. What makes you not run fusion deployment in a build like this?
So Fusion Deployment has the same lock as Branded Fusion. It says well, you can only summon from the extra deck for the rest of like for the turn you activate this card. So opening Fusion Deployment was really weird in testing because like deployment, if I had deployment in my hand and Quem, I would like always go normal Quem. I like say let's say I had like Quem Libellion Fusion Deployment. It was like kind of weird because like I was like normaling Clem, and only if that got interacted with, I would be activating fusion deployment in order to summon Cortesia. So that was really awkward. And then going second was even worse because if I open it going second, I'm like summoning a Cortesia that's like already not great into a board, and then I'm also fusion locked, and I don't want that to happen. So I wanted to I want to have to at least only a couple of cards that actually hard lock me in the deck
That
for the
makes
rest of the game.
sense. And so it looks like you're running a plethora of other branded spell and trap cards, such as branded in red, branded in
Yes,
white, and then
the
the
free
one
hard spirits.
yeah, the three high spirits, and then the one branded fusion, and then we can talk about the continuouses, I guess, separately. But is there anything really to like? What are you trying to accomplish? Because on top of the branded white and brand red, they do not lock you, and same with branded and high spirits,
Yes.
with having so many light and dark dragons, which allows you to still set up those branded spell and trap cards that allow you to resolve things like Mirror Jade and Borreload Furious Dragon without going into your fusion lines. So how important is branded in red and branded in white to this build?
So I think Brandon White is more important than Brandon Red. It barely comes up when I go for Brandon Red. Because like I don't make Guardian Chimera a lot, but I still think I want to keep it for like decks that like are back row reliant because Guardian Chimera is pretty good against those back row decks. And Brandon White comes up more because I typically don't really search this a lot. Because like it doesn't lock me. It's easier to get off because like Saronir is still able to dump the Bestial Oliver, which makes this alive again. So it's like really good for those reasons.
Awesome. And then branded and high spirits, you like that in this kind of build, even though it's like a branded synchro build. Do you think that's pretty? Oh yeah, because it combos with Quem, of course, because you can
It
just trigger
combos with
Quem.
Quam
Yeah.
and it combos with the Bestials really well. And I'm maximizing. I think I have the max amount of dragons that you can play in branded when we consider it to be branded engine. So yeah, like high spirits, it's mandatory free off. It's like really.
Awesome. And then we have the branded regain, branded lost, and branded beast. How do you feel about branded regained and branded beast this format?
So okay, I like this card a lot more right now. Because let's say you activated Grasp before, still able to go Beast plays back like one of the continuous spells you might have like dropped off it. So that's also like a good thing. it's good against like this macro matchups, of course. It's like a lot of pressure. And in this deck, like normally I set loss, but like that's not really the game plan to activate loss and place it with the Rebellion. It's more to place this with the Rebellion and regain Send with the Shrouded or with the Saronir in order to get that back and to keep my Bystials into rotation and my follow-up. So yeah.
Yeah, and like Beast just giving you the other game plan too is just like super nice. And then you do run all the spicy one-ofs. The grass is greener, Pod of Prosperity, and then of course the Chaos Space on top of the Foolish Burial and Gold Sark. So you can just tackle the whichever ones you feel like need to be talked about. Obviously, Prosperity just went to 1, and same with
Yes.
Grass is Greener. So being a 60 card list, it probably just seems intuitive to add the Grass is Greener.
Yeah. So in my eyes, resolving grass is like resolving another branded fusion because you get like so much advantage of it. And in this deck, like having the Bystials, like if I mill Mercurier or I mill Cartesia or an Albaz, like with the grass, it's like really good because I'm able to go like Bystial, banish that target, go Dispater, and then Dispater summons back the banished target. So it's really good to have like a loaded graveyard in this build, especially. So like I love grass, like in the pure version even. I think if you play 60 branded, it's mandatory to play. It's super good. And then I think the more spicier card is Pot of Prosperity. Um, I play Pot of Prosperity also for like little consistency reasons. This deck doesn't brick a lot, but like I like to see a Bestial when I can. Like if you have a Bestial, like every combo becomes like better. And also for like protective lines, like sometimes I want a Prosperity for Triple Tactics Trust or a Dark Ruler going second, so it's like really good. And it also combos with Quam very well, because like Quam still triggers off the Pot of Prosperity. And the banished targets don't get lost forever, because we still have Dispayer that's still able to put back one of our face down banished monsters of the Pot of Prosperity in order to put them back into the extra deck. So it's really well in this build. Pot of Prosperity, I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's
And then we
super
can talk
spicy.
like about another spicy card. I'm not running the baby dragons because I have not tested the baby dragons in this build. I'm not sure if they're needed. But I would I want every hand to have Bestial Rebellion in my hand. So I felt like might as well play another Chaos Space because like that's just another copy of Bestial Rebellion, right?
It's also a good mill off of
And it's a
Grass.
good mill of Grass looks good.
So yeah, and then you do run a slight board breaker package of Dark Ruler No More plus the Triple Tactics Thrust, and you still run the fusion
Yo,
duplication.
Chris,
So,
what happened to your mic?
oh, my mic was muted. Sorry. So you do run also the board breaker package of Dark Ruler No More and Triple Tactics Thrust on top of the talents. Do you feel like that's enough for the stack since you're already running a pretty heavy Bestial package? You're able to play on your opponent's hand probably in every hand with how many Bestials you have, and then you have the board breakers to back it up.
So yeah, I didn't feel like putting like 10 breakers or 12 breakers in my deck list, which I would have like in a normal branded deck list, but I decided to just play the 3 Dark Ruler, the 1 Talents, the Triple Trust, and like because the Bystials are like oppressive enough going second, and I'm just like I feel like Dark Ruler is a really good card right now. Just why I'm like just turning off a board and like making your game plan better. Talents is really insane in this deck because most of the times I always go Talent Stake in order to take one of my opponent's extra deck monsters, which allows me to go into an SP Little Knight to break my opponent's board even further and bait more interactions. And then, of course, we have Triple Tactics Trust because, like, I still would like to be able to go second and still search cards like Branded Fusion or Craslick Screener or Dark Ruler No More if I needed to, or even
Yeah.
going first, like setting fusion applications. I think Trust is really great in this deck. And of course, the free Pot of Desires, which is really spicy. Brand Fusion has gone to 1, so it's like kind of dangerous to do like the Pot of Desires. But I still play it at 3 because my game plan is not technically resolving Brand Fusion. Most of my games I still win without activating a Brand Fusion. So I like the extra draw power. It like increases my consistency. And of course the
Awesome.
one retribution, because or yeah, it's like mandatory. I most of the time set it because like my combos will you which you will see shortly, like most of the time set this card instead of red and red. So it's like really good for that reason. And of course fusion duplication, because like we can prosperity into it, we can trust into it, book first, and it's like just nice to have.
Do you ever like setting it up with like your going the synchro line and then you find a way if you have like fusion duplication to dump branded fusion? Like that sounds like a really nice like I don't know if it's that
Yeah,
common.
that actually that's that common. That happens a lot because like in my opponent's turn, if my opponent plays any like good deck at all, they most of the times will still trigger the Granganol. So I'm still able to summon Quem in my opponent's turn, and that will dump the fusion. So like it happens a lot where I have like the synchro board coupled with a fusion duplication, which is like super overpowered.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then in the extra deck, you just want I'm gonna give the floor to you with the extra deck because I feel like you gotta explain to people kind of just like how this is going to get like how just the flow of how you're supposed to like decide what you're going into, whether it's a synchro play or a fusion play.
Yeah. So Albanese is mandatory for this list, even if Tempai is not in the game anymore, let's say. Because Albanese can also still put back like other cards, like Bestials. Can put back your recycle your Despater if it's got banished from something. Can recycle your Heretic Seals and your Striker Dragon, or your auto fusions, of course. So I really like it for that. Like by having it with Lubellion, it happens a lot that you just like shuffle 14 cards back, like 14 dragons, and have a 14 attack hobble in this, which is kind of funny, but it kind of happens a lot. Then we played it to Albion, which I think is just mandatory because we're still making branded plays and dumping this of a high spirits or making it even on my turn one boards. I like to do that a lot, so it's really good for that reason. Borrowload Furious Dragon, it might even be better than Mirror Jade in this version, because Borload is like very easy to make with the amount of bestials that I'm playing right now. And yeah, it's like really good. So pop every turn. Regain brings back another body every turn. So it's like free pop material. Like just imagine relooping a Saronir every time, popping it with Borload Furious, Saronir dump again. It's like really broken. They play one Granganyo. In the pure version, it's mandatory to play two because of the Papito Loquito in your opponent's turn, you know. But in this version, like Gregandio most of the times dumps a Bestial Lubellion or one of the fusions from the extra deck into the graveyard. And like it doesn't do, and I recycle a lot with regain. So like I'm basically still playing two, but you know I have to recycle with regain. Then I play one Guardian Chimera. This is probably the first card I would probably cut because it doesn't come up a lot because I'm not setting red enough. But I still like to have this card as an option. Last year, when people were playing it in this spot, would be Baron de Fleur, but of course Baron de Fleur is banned, so cannot be there. Then we played the Baron the Serum Dragon, of course, refusing plays and recycling your stuff. What I said with all the like cycle everything, Rinpum still, just fusing in your opponent's turn. Titanic Lad, summoning Quem is very important in this build because like Quem is crazy. And now we get to the spicy stuff. We get to Despater. Bestial Despater is like insane this build. I'm banishing a lot. Like most of my combos, I'm banishing just dumping a Cartesio of my Cardiquam, banishing it with a Bestial, then making Despater and reporting that Cartesio off my banish pile, and then combo even further. So Despater is like the strongest piece in this build by far. It's just insane branded. Then we have
What
the
are the
Chaos
end
Angel.
boards? Or sorry, here I'll ask you after. So yeah, Chaos Angel.
Yes, Chaos Angel, also a crazy card. Most decks cannot even out this card just by engine alone. I think these branded players can out it by just crashing your Mirror Jade if it is a Light of Dark. Most like I think ending on like breaking your opponent's board with like Dark Chaos Angel is like very crazy because like you'll just sit on it and your opponent won't be able to out it most of the time. So it's a crazy tower right now, really crazy, and it's easy to make in this build.
Yeah, it's like all the levels line up. You only have sixes and fours essentially.
Yeah, like and making this like first action, like your opponent doesn't expect it. So like it's really good. It's really good. Also for the surprise factor. Then we have one Erratic Seals of Heavy Spirits.
Oh wait, hold up. That's also why I feel like this version has a lot better of a matchup into this format sometimes than pure branded, because Chaos Angel is your very easy access removal for any spells or traps, such as like
Yes.
Nightmare Pain, which is currently one of the more difficult parts of even outing against Yubel. So
Yes.
I think Chaos Angel is super good in that matchup.
And even banishing a sequence that's equipped to a Decima Ray is also really good. It's like just banishing it, and Decima Ray doesn't have the gates anymore applied because it doesn't have link material equipped to it. So that's also really good. I'll do that a lot going second. Then we have Erratic Seals of Highly Spirits, also an insane card in this list, I have to say. This is also just as good as Dissipator. Just bouncing one of your opponent's cards, then summoning Fallen of Albaz, then that Fallen of Albaz, because your opponent plays a lot of like Fiendsmith cards are everywhere right now, so you're always able to make an Albion into Jade, still get triggers of Regain, to get the draws back. It's like insane. Yeah, this is like one of the best cards in the deck. And you always make it going first if you can do the Synchro route. Then we have to talk about a card that's like okay, and then we play Young Boy Striker, one of my favorite cards of all time, of course. Dragon Link Lover, bro. Yeah, it's more like it's like a combo piece as well. Like most of the time, some hands are awkward. So let's say I have like a Bestial Luber and like another Bestial, I have the normal Bestial Luber, or with all of us, I have the normal one of them. Link them into the Striker Dragon, and Bestial banish like the targeting graveyard, and then link 2 into Erratic Seals of Heavy Spears, so I still end on something, in those awkward hands. And yeah, this is also, and also is better with Aspie, because like go Link Wand and Aspie, pretty good. So in this line, a normal Guiding Clam, and instead of sending the Mercurier, I'll send the Shrouded Dragon. I'll use my Bestial Sarnier to banish the Shrouded Dragon. And now I Synchro Summon into Dissipator. And now the Sarnier triggers in order to send the Bestial Rebellion. Now the Dissipator summons the Shrouded Dragon. Retrieve the Shrouded Dragon in order to summon the Rebellion. This will activate the Branded Beast. And now the Shrouded Dragon will send the Branded Regain.
Oh, that's super clean.
And then we go into Erratic Seals of Happy Spirits. And then we go to End Phase. And this will trigger the Beast in order to set the Regain. And we pass on this. So with a 2-card combo that's normally a Brick and Pure Branded, we're able to set up like 5 interruptions, because the seal will tribute itself, summon the Albaz in opponent's turn. Then the Albaz preferably goes to Albion if your opponent is on Fiendsmith, and this will banish these two into another Jade. And then we still have to regain, summon back the Dissipator. I'm doing this really quickly just to give you guys a show what this deck can do.
Yeah, that's
Then you
super
still have
broken.
like Beast, tribute the Albion in order to get this in graveyard and pop another card, and you have the Dissipator to keep recycling this, and we had another draw of regain, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good for like a 2-card combo that's normally a Brick and Branded. There's also like another insane combo in this deck. So here we go, normal Guiding Clam, sending the Shrouded Dragon. Then we go Cartesia effect special. Then we go Bestial Rebellion effects, adding the Bestial Magnitude. Bestial Magnitude, storing the Shrouded Dragon, summoning it, taking the effect. Then we go into Dissipator, Clam Reborn the Cartesia. Then we go Dissipator, Summon Shroud. Then we use the Cartesia effect in order to fuse off these two. Making Albion. Then we use Albion to go into into Titanic Blood. Then tribute 1 in order to summon the Rebellion. The Rebellion activates in order to place the Branded Beast again. There we go, link 2 into one of the best cards in the deck, Relic Seals of Happy Spirits. Now we go into End Phase, and we'll activate the Magnitude first, adding the Sarnier, so resolve the Magnitude. Titanic Lad adds Albaz. Then we do Albion at the end opening, acting when it's opening, discarding Sarnia, summoning Aluber.
Oh wow, this is gas.
Now 1 Aluber, 2 Sarnia, sending Branded Lost, adding the Mr. Red. A beast placing the Branded Lost, Brandon Red targeting Guiding Clam. Now we banish the Aluber and the Falm of Albus in order to make Rebellion. Chain 1 Rebellion, chain 2 Branded Lost, in order to have Courier.
That's a lot of interruptions.
It's I'm pretty sure it's 8, so it really good. Oh, not this one, my bad. This one stays on the board, so we can tribute it with Beast later because we didn't have regained. To Jade. And we still have Mercury in hands, like really crazy. It's a really crazy line.
Of course, everybody, please go to Raul's YouTube and his Twitter to check out his channel. And then also, if you want to hit him up for his branded spreadsheet, where there are like almost 100, if not 100 plus combos on branded right there. And of course,